How's it going, guys? My name is Liam McMillan, and I grew up in Orange County, and I've traveled quite a bit. So the global soul really connected with me, and Pico Lyer's ideas about movement and identity they resonated with me. And so while reading it, I kept thinking about how much of our lives are spent in transit, such as in airports and cities, and how we are always heading somewhere else. And so in this presentation, I want to show how globalization changes what home and identity really mean. So, globalization, my main idea is that globalization changes what we think of as home. It's not just a place anymore, it's more of a feeling. And identity isn't fixed either, it shifts depending on where we are and who we are around. And so, belonging becomes layered in a way. It's built from different places and memories over time. Um, and so what this means is that we're not rooted in one spot the way people like used to. And yeah, so um, in chapter 2, Lyer uses airports as a symbol for modern identity, and he describes them as look-alike settings. And this is like where everyone feels like a stranger, and they seem temporary but kind of impersonal. But at the same time, airports are where some of the most, like, the biggest emotional moments happen, such as reunions, goodbyes, and many turning points. And so that contrast is very important because even places that feel anonymous can still hold very powerful meaning. And so identity today is shaped mostly by movement, and the airport becomes a direct symbol of that. And so Lyer asked a very deep question. He asked, "Are airports the closest or the farthest we can feel from home?" And so he calls them non-places. But he also says that some of his most vivid memories happen at an airport. And so that contradiction really stands out because airports don't have roots; they hold emotion. And so home starts to feel less like a location and more like an experience. And for the global soul, identity forms in between those moments. And so after airports, Lyre shifts to cities, especially Toronto. And airports show who we are while we are moving, whereas cities show who we are and like where we are, like when we are trying to belong. And so in both cases, identity isn't tied to just one place. Home becomes something we build through connection as much as movement does. And so in chapter 4, Lyra calls Toronto, quote, a stained glass hole. And I love that image because each piece keeps its own color, but together they create something much bigger. And that's his idea of belonging is that you don't erase your past, you bring it with you. And so home becomes layered, it's not replaced. And so Lyer talks about how like this Canadian soccer team, he refers to them as a mosaic, and the players they all come from different backgrounds, but their differences aren't erased. Like that's what makes it strong, and it's not about blending into sameness. It's about different pieces working together. And so here's the big idea: it's that globalization reshapes identity. Home becomes something we carry. Identity shifts, it adapts. And we live in between places now. And that's what Lyre means by the global soul. And so I hope you guys enjoyed. And these are the works cited. So thank you very much for watching. And yeah, thank you.